So in this segment, we're going to be talking about the DUP threatening to quit Stormont within a few weeks now. This article's from the 9th of September. I'm a bit late to the party, as I always am. Point being is that was well over 2 weeks ago. So as far as I know of, the DUP are still a part of Stormont, which tells you this is an empty threat, as it always was. Because if they leave Stormont, they're going to lose a lot of leverage. In Stormont, in their version of the Parliament, they still have some leverage. They can still be on TV and stuff like that. Once Stormont closes, no one really cares about these geezers. Not really. They've tried it before. They tried closing Stormont before because they didn't get their way, and it didn't happen. It was hilarious. But let's have a look at this article. So the DUP may quit Stormont within weeks if its demands over the Northern Ireland Protocol are not met, its leader has suggested. Now, in fairness, Frost has tried to do a lot of damage to the Northern Ireland Protocol, and didn't work. So Donaldson said he feared a return to the loyalist street violence seen earlier in the year unless the issue is resolved. And to be fair, allegedly certain members of the DUP were meeting with some of these dudes, and I doubt they were saying, hold on, bro, we're going to get this sorted. He said his party would now boycott most North-South ministerial meetings. I mean, how is that going to help you get anywhere? I'm pretty sure he met the Taoiseach recently as well. How are boycotting meetings going to help you? It doesn't make sense. He said his party would also mention that. He said relations could not be business as usual. Well, you're not going to make a dent, pal, because the only party that can make any changes are the Conservative and Unionist Party, not you, the desperate Unionist Party. During his speech, Jeffrey said it would be clear within weeks if there was a basis for the Assembly and Executive to continue, or if an election was needed. The problem is, I've seen there was a story today, I think, where Donaldson was calling for an alliance to keep Sinn Féin out. If you call an early election, you will lose your majority very quickly, my friend. That is not a street you want to go down. Right now, I think they've got a majority in the Stormont Parliament, or they've got the largest party anyways. You call that election, you're going to be in massive trouble. I say not as a threat, but as a matter of political reality, that our political institutions will not survive a failure to resolve the problems that the protocol has created. I mean, the only one creating problems is you, pal. Neither will they survive an indefinite standstill period. Urgent action is needed. It's really not. The only thing that needs to change are continued supply chains. That's it. He also said DUP ministers would resign from their posts rather than implement further border checks on goods entering Northern Ireland from Great Britain. Great, do it then. Resign. No one cares. If in the final analysis those who are democratically elected by the people of Northern Ireland lack the power to prevent such checks and the protocol issues remain, then the position in the office of DUP ministers would become untenable. According to you, it's already untenable because you can't stop more checks from happening. Not really. Especially once checks start happening the other way, if they ever happen. We'll talk about that at some point. But what are you, bruv? You have no leverage here. Not really. Stop giving idle threats. The only people you should be threatening or talking to is the British government. Your government, the one that you love so much. The Irish government aren't going to do anything about this. So we've got some analysis here from Enda McClaffrey, who says, in terms of the mechanics of how you bring down government in Northern Ireland, essentially what you need is the First Minister or the Deputy First Minister need to resign. Then there's a period of 7 days, and if those positions are not filled within that period, it's over to the Secretary of State, Brandon Lewis, who has to set an election within a reasonable period of time. But there's already an election happening in May, and we already saw Stormont close for a long period of time. I think it was over the Irish language bill, an Irish language bill about Irish being taught in schools. Stormont walked away from that, and I think something to do with gay rights, if I'm not mistaken. So these guys and their empty threats, what are you doing? There's no guarantee that if the DUP walk away from government that we will end up in an election within a matter of weeks. The smart money would suggest Brandon Lewis will take the view there's no point calling an election because there's one happening next May. So if the DUP walk out of Stormont this month, there won't be an election for probably another 6 months, however far away May is. So again, it's an absolute joke that these guys are thinking that this would work. Donaldson, he's not the smartest man, is he? It's not great when you're more stupid than Arlene Foster. Donaldson, I don't know what his end game is here, because the only thing he can do is try to incite more violence in Northern Ireland. That's about it. because nothing else gets eyeballs and nothing else will change the protocol. And even then, there's no guarantee anything will change. So he's basically stuck because he can't get rid of the protocol, and the British government aren't listening to him. So he has no options here. There's no real leverage he has, unless, essentially those guys set Northern Ireland on fire, which I can't imagine them doing that. But who knows? Who knows at this point? These guys are crazy. But yeah, I'm going to leave it there. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Support on Patreon if you can, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.